Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! In the last episode, we met Mr. Sholmes in Mr. Natsumi's lodging in his room, and we had a little chit-chat with him, and we already established, not really established, but we were suspicious about Mr. Gerridebs and his maid in this room here, and, well, Mr. Sholmes kind of fed into our suspicion. So we are back here now. It's the 19th February, Mr. Gerridebs' room. This text box showed up, which means we are on the right path, actually. So, let's get going and see what happens.
Ah, you Peregrine. Tell me, was the detective chap? I forgot his name. Still hard at work down there?
Mr. Alex Sholmes?
Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what—
Ah! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bolly well doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind.
Oh yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out?
Okay, according to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gerridebs is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. That is true. That is very, very true. But we actually... So there's nothing to see here apparently. Ah, look who showed up here. Oh my god, are we going to have a dance of deduction finally? Oh my god. Ah, what's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes.
Aha, we meet again, my dear fellows.
Good gracious, when did you sneak in here?
Alex Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Whatever were you doing over by the window?
I am giving to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs indubitably it is,
It lacks an aperture for such observations. Sorry guys, sorry.
So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
Well,
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering.
Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Me?
I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind.
Wait, he's not talking about... Is he... I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. I was hoping to. Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I am prepared! I think so.
There's just time enough for one of my great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Gerridebs, though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what it might call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Uh,
And the second is that as a result of that beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you.
Mr. Naruto, look! The old man's broken out in cold sweat. Unbelievable, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
how could you possibly?
How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the bee king of beasts. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot.
Yeah, let's go!
Nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take?
Okay, so it's a lion.
Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Gerridebs, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue.
Okay, so it's not the lion, so it's something else. We'll have to look.
Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts.
What is this, Piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such wild beasts proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
me?
I pray you do not consider me chivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is handbill advertising a circus show.
Oh,
Yes, you sought to dispose of the terrifying lion, Mr. Gerridebs. At Patty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire.
conclusion? A rampaging Asiatic lion. Asiatic. Topic 2, aftermath.
Now, Mr. Gerridebs, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that lithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritable tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amidst fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain of your suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh, for cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last imaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh dearie me!
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh,
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. You're wondering I have settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the tower of cakes.
oh,
There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noble woman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever
whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India.
Conclusion? Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
what is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gerrideb. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too.
Oh. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it again?
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed, it is the only explanation for the fact. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Gerrideb and his mate would have been hurt or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon.
I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. Yes, I did. A slight massage. That's all Mr. Shaw's deductions need. You can do it.
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. It doesn't matter, it's great, Ryunosuke. We're gonna do it, come on. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again. From the beginning. Yes. Of Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Holmes.
Nature of the beast.
Is it an Asiatic lion?
I certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Gerridebs, lead us directly to the answer. The true nature of this beast that has run rampage is revealed by that lion statue.
Well, it's not that. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Gerridebs' reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Gerridebs' gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. Alright. So, what could it be? It must be the mortar shells. It's very unlikely to be... So we're gonna inspect the lion statue first? Well, this is the lion statue that Mr. Sholmes picked out. Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. Sorry, guys. I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet. I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it? Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. So, the photographic frame here. What is that? What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Gerridebs' wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Oh, we have to go back because I want to check out this mortar shell first. These are shells for the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them. Imagine they have some significance to Mr. Gerridebs from his time in the army. Of course, he mentioned a battle to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him. If a round of that size had hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it, of Mr. Gerridebs for that matter. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper. And this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. Alright, so nothing there. It is the photograph. Can't go up and down, so let's go to the frame again. La la la, yeah, we had that already. So let's talk about Mr. Gerridebs first. This must have been when Mr. Gerridebs was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. I suppose he was very strong in his younger years. Hard to imagine now. He's as thin as a rake. Alright, nothing else to see but the newlywed bride. The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. But no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. So we can't check that out, but it has to be...
Take that!
This. The newlywed bride. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Gerridebs. And why will lament the fact that her face is obscured?
We can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain.
Indeed, surely any woman of such power constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
Honored might be stretching a point.
Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly established in this room, was your wife, Mr. Gerridebs.
Oh!
The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madame?
me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives a handsome clue as to the current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyway, Mrs. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of her, Mrs. Gerridebs anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Gerridebs' wife could be. Too tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be heard. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mr. Sato. It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruto. Okay, we already kind of knew that though. Is there anything else we can check out here? Besides... Oh, there doesn't seem to be anything of interest. Besides, can we check out the teapot maybe? Yes, we can. What a charming little teapot, and it's in pristine condition. Jonah has been pouring some deliciously fragrant tea from it for Mr. Gerridebs, hasn't she? Well, not so much for Mr. Gerridebs as on Mr. Gerridebs, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. Yeah, that's true, but here's the wedding ring. We're gonna check that out first. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring of the finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruto, not to say. Do you know, Mr. Gerridebs' wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one. Yes, that is true. It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory of these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? Yeah, that's true, but I want to check out if we can... We can check out the pocket. We're gonna do that. That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out from her pocket. Betty's Circus, currently performing shows in a park not far from here. You don't think? Surely Mr. Gerridebs didn't sell his wife to the circus. Mr. Naruto, how could you even think such a thing? I was only joking. Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to his pet lion? That's somehow worse. That's true. That is true, though. Okay, so nothing else to check out, so we're gonna present the wedding ring.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Oh! Indeed it does. The flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gerridebs' bride in this photographic print. In other words,
you are not no ordinary household maid.
no. You are Mr. Gerridebs' lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gerrideb herself.
Oh my word!
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a poorly porcupine. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was a second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly.
You mean Mr. Gerrideb has his wife work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gerrideb?
Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please!
The raging wife of Mr. Gerrideb. Alright, let's get to the second topic, aftermath. There is no line, so...
Now, Mr. Gerrideb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by the supporting arm.
No, it's not the supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Gerrideb's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mr. Gerrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gerrideb's pain is tangible though. What could that pose of his really signify? Well, I do have an idea. Because she slapped him. It's a slapped cheek. I'm pretty sure about that. But we're gonna check out everything because we do. That's a very large pipe, isn't it? Yes, anyone who has something that size hanging out of his or her mouth on a regular basis is sure to have a serious chin like Mr. Gerridebs. But what's with that white binding around it all about? So that could be something too. Can we check out the wife in some way? Doesn't seem like it. Slap cheek is there. Supporting arm. We can check out the supporting arm, which we are going to do. Mr. Gerrideb certainly looks glum. According to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, That's because he's having to endure the acute pain of losing something dear to him. But we know that he hasn't lost his wife. So that means there must be another cause of pain, for the pain he's suffering. Yes, that is true. That is indeed true. Ah, he has the moon as a ring, as a wedding ring. That's cool. So they support each other. Okay, we already checked that out. Supporting arm. So it has to be the slapped cheek. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand. Yes, Mr. Gerridebs has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. It has to be the slap cheek, right? I'm gonna present that.
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by the slap cheek.
And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joan Gerridebs.
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide the slap marks on your cheek, sir.
Oh.
How the blazes! How did you work that out, man?
Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow.
That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view.
Well,
Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Gerridebs to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of pills that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Well, it's not, apparently. Didn't Mr. Shaw say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Gerridebs' wife. Mr. Narudodo! She's a person, not a thing! Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand marked, in fact. Yes, yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. So we're gonna find out, and it seems like... Okay, we can only do it like this. Is there... a stack of books? What is that stack of books? There are a lot of books stacked up on the shelf there. Look, all novels that I've never heard of. It would appear somebody has purchased them all from a second-hand bookshop. I think Mr. Gerridebs is something of a book lover. Uh-huh. So he is kind of involved with that. I mean, let's check out the bills first. Looking at all these bills, it certainly amounts to a great deal of food. Meat and potatoes by the cartload, wasn't it? Well, looking at the two of them, you can tell immediately who eats the lion's share in this household. Well, at least we're no longer talking about an actual lion anymore. Aha, but... Okay, now we can see there's this bookmark, and that bookmark is very suspicious. It has a kiss mark on it. So let's check out the bookmark. Oh, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Gerridebs is clearly an avid reader. Mr. Gerridebs is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look next to the signature there. Lip marks, made with a lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then, huh? So we can check that out a second time, I guess? So this card looks like it's been used by a bookmark. It's actually a love note. Yes, reading, "Oh James, I love you. Yours, Mary." But Mr. Gerridebs' first name is Joan, isn't it? Yes, exactly. Yes, I believe we may be heading into dangerous territory here. It's very conspicuous after all, isn't it? You mean the bright red lips next to the woman's signature? Yes, it's the first thing if you notice, of course, and it rather makes your heart skip a beat.
Well, unfortunately...
Okay, just to be sure, there is nothing more. Stack of books, we already checked that out. We checked this out. Pile of bills, blah blah blah. So we're gonna present the
note.
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here?
Sorry, guys. Oh, she just slept. Okay.
But I don't know the bally woman.
You don't know her?
That note wasn't written to me. I was just in the book. I don't know how it got there.
It was just in there, you say?
That's right, that's what I've been saying. Oh!
That is why she's torturing him. A likely story.
Now listen here, John. Whole thing I explained at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place, and the note must already have been in there. So the previous owner of the book...
So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean?
That's right. That's what I've been saying. Oh!
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you forgot, is John. Oh!
A likely story.
Are you questioning my name now?
And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite.
Oh!
Now in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by the observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I may not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Ah. This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Just to explain the desired state of carpet, we need only to look at the tower of cakes.
But surely Mrs. Gerridebs didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not.
But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Gerridebs' gaze and that will tell us the truth. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. Alright, so... Can we... Okay... We are supposed to start here, apparently. So let's look at the candlestick. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small, surely it's very unstable. Looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder. So we can see down there that the candle is here. So let's take a look at the carpet first. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink this with that in mind. So we have to check out the candles once again. So let's have a look at the circus handbill first. This is an advertising handbill for the circus. Betty Circus. It's in a nearby park. Isn't this the same as the one we saw earlier? The one that was folded up in Miss Gerridebs' pocket. Perhaps they're very great circus lovers. It couldn't be that the hungry lion is somehow involved again here, could it? Oh dear, I hope not. Okay, let's have a look at the tower of cakes. Oh, so many cakes. Oh, is that all you can think about? Well, look at them, Mr. Naruto. There's a mountain of them and they all look so delicious. It's more of a tower than a mountain, I'd say. It's a mountain, and it's my hope that one day in our very homeland, I will be able to perform the tea ceremony at the foot of such a mountain. It's definitely a tower. This is so great. This is so great. This is the best dance of deduction of all time. Okay, I think we have to have a look at the candlestick once again. This looks like a very old one, doesn't it? No, okay, so take a closer look. The candle is missing. Okay, so it has to be the candlestick because it can't be the carpet. So I'm just gonna present the candlestick here, I think.
Take that!
Yes, it's the right thing. Okay. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away.
Scorch marks?
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation.
Miss Gerridebs' mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face,
but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder.
and in seconds the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames.
Yes,
For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire.
And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok.
Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here.
After the sparks of martial discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire.
Mr. Sholmes, sir, I salute you!
Carpet scorched by a small fire. Deduction complete. Elementary. Alright, guys. I'm really sorry, but I have to leave you hanging here because not only did we reach the half-hour mark, we have already almost completed an hour. So I'm gonna make it a quit here. And I hope you tune in for the next episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, when things are going to come clean, as it seems, because Mr. Gerridebs is about to talk. So, see you then. Bye-bye.